statement, which is the income statement. In the income statement, as you remember from our first lesson, the only two things we care about are revenues and expenses. So we will look from the trial balance to see or to find the revenues and expenses. We will highlight them and we will add them to the income statement here to get if the company is making net income or net loss. So we will add or list the revenues here and make or calculate the total of the revenues. Then we will list the expenses here and we will calculate the total of the expenses. Then we will compare between these two totals. As you can see, the total expenses is higher than the total of revenues, which means the company is facing net loss, which means the company is losing money. That's why we have calculating this two amounts by subtracting them to get the amount the company is losing, which is 2,900 BD. Moving on to the second statement, which is the owner's equity statement. This is statement number 1 and this is statement number 2. They should be prepared one after each other. In this statement, I put here the name of the company, and I have to mention the name of the statement because I am working on 3 statements here. And I have to mention the period of time, which has to be same as the time or the period of the income statement. I have to start with the beginning capital or the owner's capital from the trial balance. So I have to look here in the balances to get the capital. I will add the capital here. This is our beginning capital. Then in the statements of owner equity, I have to list the events that will increase the capital or the events that will and the events that will decrease the capital. But here we are facing net loss as we got from the income statement, which means the company is losing money. There are no events that increasing the capital here. So I will add the capital, then I will add the net loss. I will get the total by subtracting them and I will get this amount. Then I will list here the drawings from the trial balance here. I got this amount. I will put it here and I will calculate the ending capital by subtracting these two amounts, and I will see I started with this amount of capital and I have ended with this amount of capital because the company is losing money. Now let's complete our activity and start to prepare the balance sheet. Here we have the same trial balance of Dana Company. As you can see, we have the balance sheet in the format of horizontal balance sheet because we have to start here with the assets, and at this side I will list the liabilities and owner's equity. I want to make sure that this formula is balanced. First, I will list the current assets, which are cash, accounts receivable, supplies, inventory, and I will add these figures to get the total current assets. Then I will list the fixed assets, which are lands, building, and furniture. I will add this amount to get the total assets. Then I will get or calculate the total assets by adding these two amounts. Like this, we have finished this side of the formula. Now we will start with the liability and owner equity side. We will list the accounts payable, interest payable, notes payable, and bonds payable. We will calculate the total of liabilities and we will get 30,200 BD, which is the total of liabilities. Now we will list the owner's equity, and we only have the ending capital, which we calculated from statement of owner equity in step number 2. We will get this amount and we will list it here. Then we will calculate the total liability and equity by adding these two amounts. Now I will compare the two sides of my balance sheet or my formula of accounting, the accounting equation, and I will get this side amount is 227,000 BD, and in this side I have 227,000 BD. And if I will compare them, I will see that they are equal to each other, which means that my balance sheet is balanced and I have successfully balanced the accounting equation. Now, let's try to find out if these statements are true or false. I have here balances extracted from the book of Salman Company. These balances are cash, supplies, prepaid insurance, and equipment, and also building. They have calculated the total current assets of these balances and they got this amount. Now I want to make sure if this statement is correct or wrong. The only way to make sure if it is correct or wrong is by solving it. So we will first classify our current assets here. We will see cash is current assets, so I will take it. Supplies is also current assets. I will take this amount as well, and prepaid insurance is also current assets. Let's check the equipment. They are long-term assets, which means they are not current assets. Building are also long-term assets, which means they are not current assets. These two amounts are fixed assets because they are long-term assets. So I don't need these amounts. So only I will take these amounts that I have marked and I will put them and to find out the total of them. 12,000 BD for the cash, 8,000 BD for the supplies, and 5,000 BD for the prepaid insurance. I will add this amount to get the total of 25,000 BD. Now, if I compare my answer to the answer in this statement, it is definitely not the same, which means this statement is wrong. The answer is 25,000 BD. Moving on to the second statement that we have to check. If the company has total assets of 120,000 BD, total current assets of 80,000 BD, they said that the total fixed assets are 200,000 BD. Now we want to make sure if this statement is correct. So we will calculate the total assets and to find out that the fixed asset that they have calculated here is correct or not. We will add or use this formula, the total asset equals the current asset plus the fixed assets. They have given us the total assets, which is 120,000, which is equal to the current assets 80,000 BD plus the fixed assets that we have to calculate now. To calculate the fixed asset, I have to subtract these two amounts to get 40,000 BD. Now, as you can see that this answer is definitely not the same as the answer in this statement, which means that this statement is also wrong, and this is the correct answer. As a summary of all the information or the skills that we are going to learn from Accounting 1, Accounting 2, and Accounting 3, we have prepared the steps of accounting cycle. We are going to learn identifying and analyzing transactions in Accounting 1, record transactions in journal in Accounting 1, post journal totals to journal ledgers in Accounting 1, prepare unadjusted trial balance in Accounting 1 as well, prepare an adjusted trial balance in Accounting 2, prepare adjusting journal entries and post to general ledger trial balance in Accounting 2, We will prepare financial statements in Accounting 1. This is the lessons that we were talking about. Prepare and post closing entries in Accounting 3. Prepare and after post closing trial balances in Accounting 3. Thank you, students, for watching how to prepare the 3 financial statements. We have completed all these 3 statements. For more exercises, please go to your book and start solving Chapter 12 and Chapter 13 exercises, or go to the website and download exercises from there and try to solve them by yourself in order to be better in these statements. Thank you, students, and good luck.